Look, check this out. I was having a conversation with a few guys I know, right? And the whole tithing conversation came up. And I'm going to give you their perspective on it. And then I'm going to give you the stuff I've been seeing. And then I'm going to give you my honest, raw opinion about it. Right? I was talking to this one guy. Let's just call this one guy Jay. I was talking to Jay. He said, bro, I'm going to be honest. Because what's been going around on the internet is these pastors. I'm going to say their name. One pastor, Pastor Keon. Yeah, the guy that got Shaq White. Yeah. Well, anyway, look. I remember he was trying to raise millions and millions of dollars, and he was saying, if y'all can just donate X amount of dollars, we can get this. And then they got the other pastor, Philip Anthony Mitchell. He was saying that they have to find another church, they have to move. And I think he need to come up with like 20-something million. Now, think about this for just a second. The reason they need these $1 million buildings, the reason they need these plus $1 million business, $1 million, yeah, it is a business. $1 million building is because their work is so great, they can't house everybody, right? Now look at this. Let me show you something. When I was talking to Jay, we was talking about it. He said, bro, I'm gonna be honest. He said, man, I don't tithe no more. I said, well, let me ask you this. Do you go to church consistently? Do you have a home church? He said, nah, I don't, but when I was going to this one church, he said, man, I tithed for a whole year and I never seen 100-fold. I said, let me ask you, what was the point of you tithing? He said, man, the pastor spoke on it, man, you tithe, you open up the blessings. God will pour, he'll have your cup overflowing. I said, so you was just, I said, so what was the point of you tithing? He said, well, I figured if I tithe, I would have more of an increase. That's why I tithe. He said, and I didn't see no increase, and I stopped tithing, now I got more money. I said, okay. And then another guy, we just gonna call him Pete. Pete was like, man, Gip, this is how I see it, bro. He said, I look at it like a refrigerator. He said, I got a refrigerator in my house, and there's a refrigerator at the church. He said, man, if I'm constantly putting food in that refrigerator, I can't go in there in that refrigerator and get nothing to eat when I want to. I gotta ask. He said, and 9 times out of 10 when I ask, they're gonna say they can't help me. So I stopped doing it, right? Then I talked to another guy. He was saying, man, tithing is cool, man, but I'm gonna give what I want to give. If I want to give $20 a week, I'm gonna give $20 a week. If he said $100 a week, man, that's a little steep. All right. Now look, this is my raw, honest opinion on this. We pay tithes and offerings. We just don't call it tithes and offerings to the things that we love to do. I'm gonna give you an example on what I mean. If you go to this basketball court every weekend and play, and it's like 30 of y'all meet up, run full court. Let's just use Rucker Park for instance. Let's say Rucker Park was a neighborhood basketball playground that everybody go play ball at, right? When it's time for the bleachers to get replaced, I know it's a city park. Let's just say it was a neighborhood park. When it's time for the bleachers to get, because y'all hold tournaments and y'all raise money. When it's time for the bleachers to get replaced, they be like, look, man, it's gonna be $5,000 to replace the bleachers. We're gonna take up some money. Y'all just chip in, and we'll just keep chipping in until we got enough. You'll chip in for that. When it's time to, hey man, it's time to replace all the nets on the court. Well, bro, man, I just buy a net on the way home. Well, bro, I get one too. Well, man, all right, I get the other 2, and then we got new nets. Hey, bro, I'm gonna buy some more balls. You're tithing and offering to what it is that you love to do every week, right? So when I look at church and tithing, see, if you have a guy that gives up his life to become a pastor, in my mind, he need to be compensated. and he don't need to be compensated under 6 figures. All right, now look, now stay with me. The average job person to make between about 50 to 80,000 a year, right? Now, if somebody's a pastor, they don't have health insurance, they don't have a retirement. So let's give them the average income between 50 and 80,000. Let's just say 70,000, and then let's give them an extra 30,000 a year that he can put towards his retirement, that he can fund his own health care. That's his business. So if we give this guy 100,000 a year, 6 figures, you can go from there, right? Most people will look at pastors, they want them to be poor. And here's what I mean by poor. If a pastor shows up at church with a new vehicle, people will look at him sideways. I'm not saying new like brand new. Like we in 2025, but the pastor show up with a 2020, they'll be like, man, that's where my tithe money going, bro. Like they don't, some people just don't want their pastor to have nothing. Some people, yeah, man, yeah, I'm gonna be gone. I'm gonna be gone for a week. Me and my wife anniversary, we're going on vacation. We're going to Jamaica. You like, man, bro, I don't never get to go to Jamaica. This is my tithe money going to. That man living and enjoying life. He pimping us. And that's how people look at it. And I'm gonna give you my quick take, and I'm gonna switch over, right? But now let's switch over first. The problem is you have a lot of pastors that take advantage of people that's just above the poverty line. I'll say it again. You have some pastors will take advantage of people that is living just above the poverty line. Listen, when I was struggling living paycheck to paycheck, there's no need to say, hey man, we taking up money because we want to do this. Man, bro, I don't have nothing to give you. I ain't got nothing to give you. If my check ain't number $600, I believe in doing 10%. So that's what I believe. If my check $600, I'm gonna give 60. All right. Listen, if I ain't got 60, I'm gonna do 40. I'm gonna do 30. I'm gonna do 25 because I am struggling. And you have to look at it, man. God will meet you where you're at. Now, with that being said, if the Lord give you a $3,000 if the Lord give you a $3,000 landscape job, you telling me you can't give back $300? Well, man, God don't reside in the building, and the devil don't either. See, again, like I said before, I said again, you tithe and offer to the things you love to do or the events you love to go to. And that's the same thing with a church. If you call this your church and you say this is where you attend, then hey, the light bill have to be paid. The light bill is not getting paid with love. The mortgage on the building, if the building isn't paid for, isn't getting paid with love. It's getting paid with green dollars. Okay? The problem is some of these pastors, well, a lot of these pastors, they take advantage of the people. You have to look at the economy we're in. The economy isn't too great for most people because a lot of people haven't figured it out, and a lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck. How much money can you squeeze out of somebody that's living paycheck to paycheck? With the people Keon and Philip Anthony Mitchell, you do not need a $10+ million building to preach the word of God. This is what you have to do. They say the guy Philip Anthony Mitchell got 2 years and he had to find another church. Don't tell the people, hey man, we need 20 million in 2 years. Just say, like, look, we got to be gone out of here in 2 years. We're going to take up collections, going toward the new building we going to buy. Y'all give what you can. And when them 2 years hit, whatever, however much money we have, that's what we going to get. If we can get, see, another thing, your pastor has to be a wise steward when it comes to money. He can't bury himself in debt because we've all seen it. A lot of people have credit card debt, they're in debt, and they live paycheck to paycheck. So imagine if your spiritual leader is the same way. But let's just say, like I say, we're using the Philip Anthony Mitchell guy. Yeah, man, we got to be gone in 2 years. So what we gonna do? We gonna take up offerings and collections, and whatever we have in those 2 years, that's the building we going to buy. So in 2 years, size his church is, they should be able to come up with about $1 million, $2 million. All right, so you go buy what you can get with $2 million. Well, man, this ain't the same work, man. I got a grand vision. Listen, the Lord don't need you in a $20 million building to preach the gospel. There's a thing called a live stream. You know how I go live and talk trash? There's a thing called live stream. Let me cut this property. Yeah, I'm gonna cut this property and bill them anyway. Yeah. Y'all hold on. Look, check this out. The church I attend, they have 2 different morning services because everybody can't fit in the congregation on Sunday morning service. So they have to have 2 separate services, right? But you grow with your congregation. You don't run out, oh man, we can't fit everybody? Let's go finance a $10 million bill. All right, and you will get approved for the $10 million business. And then sometimes you will have a shift where some members stop coming. Some people, they don't have those same awesome jobs they had at one point. Because you got to, look, let's just use an analogy. Let's say you got a guy, he making $4,000 a week, right, on the job. And he be like, man, 10% of 4,000, really 400. I'm not tired no 400. I do $200 a week. And at the end of the month, that's $800, which is a good bit of money. When he lose that job, you will lose that offering that he is getting. You have to understand it. And now you stuck on the hook with a $10, $20 million mortgage that you got to keep begging the people so y'all can help pay for all of this. You don't want to do that. You grow with your congregation. Hey, look, we running out of room over here. We're gonna take up collections until we got enough money to purchase a building, and we not moving until then. And then it may take you 5 years to finally add on to the building, but you can add on it with cash. But that's why I say it goes back to stewardship to whoever you decide to put your family under, right? And so, and then, like I say, people will look at it as well, like, man, bro. See, you can tell who the doggone greedy pastors is. You can tell who the greedy pastors is. Because you have to look at how people view you. Like, even if you got a lot of members in your congregation have decent jobs where they making real good money, and you may look at it at every month, bro, tithes is bringing in like 20,000. Tithes and offerings bringing in like 20,000 a month. But the mortgage on the building ain't number 3,000. Man, I think I'm gonna go get me a new car, go get a Bentley. Nope. People gonna stop tithing because they ain't riding in a Bentley. If you keep it simple, we in 2025, you go get you about a 2015, 2016 used cash car. Get that cash, you know what I'm saying? Take you a trip, you and your wife, every other year. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're solely dependent on the church. Because you have some people, I'm telling you, they want their pastor poor, and then you got some people, man, I want my pastor riding and living good. So you have to look at all of that. So when those guys saying they need 10 and 20 million for a church, it's like, bro, you don't need all that. You want that. Look, I got 5 kids. I would love for each of my kids to have their own room. So, man, I need to go out and buy me a 5-bedroom house. No, you want a 5-bedroom house. You don't need it. A 3-bedroom is really enough. You don't need it. You want it. And that's what you have to look at. Now, do I tithe? Yeah, I tried to not do land for sale. Man, I ain't buying it. I ain't got no money about it. I try not to do under 10%. I try and do 10% of my income. And sometimes I do more. Because what it boils down to for me, let's just say I get a $3,000. Let's just say I do this landscape job. It's $3,000. What is 10% of $3,000? It's $300. $300 is nothing compared to $3,000. So I look at it as this is the money that the Lord has blessed me with. So now I'm going to try and be a blessing to whoever I can with the money that he's gifted me with. Because I remember a time when I wasn't making 6 figures a year. I was only making mid-5s. So we just using average numbers here. So you go from making $50,000 a year, well, man, I ain't giving 10%. I'm gonna get just like 1% because I ain't got it. So, all right, so you mean to say if I give you more, you get, yeah, man, you give me 100,000 a year, I ain't got no problem. Because 10% of 50,000 is 5,000. Man, you give me 100,000, man, I ain't got no problem giving you 5,000. And that's how I see it. I really see, I view the money I make is what the Lord has blessed me with, and I'm gonna do what I can with the money I make. Now, look, and I'm gonna say this. Sometimes when you fall on hard times, if you can't tithe, then you just can't tithe. I've been down that road too, but man, I just ain't had it. Look, I remember this one time. Y'all remember when I was telling y'all I was giving all of my YouTube money to missionaries, right? Well, I remember this one time. It was a $1,200 repair on my truck, and I had just got some YouTube money in, and then I just done another job. I was like, Lord, I'm fixing to give you 10% of this YouTube money, and then I'm gonna use this other money, and I'm gonna get my truck fixed. And guess what? That's what I did. The Lord didn't come down from heaven. Man, why you ain't? It's not how that works. You give what you can. You give what you can, and I choose to do 10%. If I don't have it, hey, I don't have it. But there's never not been a time where I didn't have the 10%. Now I might wanted to do 10% this time, and I want to maybe, it was a guy I know, I want to bless him with this. Like, it's a guy I know, bro, that cook food, and I hit him up the other day. I said, bro, where you be cooking food at? I want to support you. He's like, man, I be on this side of town, blah, blah, blah. I said, bro, I'm really on this side of town. And he was like, man, sometimes I might be on your end. And this is what I told him. I said, bro, look, check this out. This is what I want to do. I said, man, next time, I said, bro, I'm gonna get with you in maybe like a week or so. I said, cause I'm trying to get a little bit more money coming in before I do this. I said, look, bro, this is what I want to do. I want to buy 3 plates from you. We sell his plates like $15, $20. I said, bro, I want to buy 3 plates from you. And with them 3 plates, I'm not gonna come get them. I want you to give them out to the people. I said, so just in a sense, I said, bro, you can do it how you want. I'm gonna buy 3 plates. If you feel, hey man, bro, you always one of my loyal customers, man. This plate on the house today. In his mind, the plate on the house, but I already paid for that plate. So I want to support my brother that just started his food business to keep fire up under him to keep growing. Now, man, bro, that's $60. Now that ain't cost me nothing but $60. $60 is nothing when you just hit a lick for $1,800. So yeah, I can take this $60 and pump my brother up, and he can feel good. Just like how I cut grass. Hey, yeah, bro, just come over here and run over my yard, man. I'm gonna leave the money under the mat. And I go over there and run over his yard, and I look under the mat. It's $100. Like, man, that $100, man. Shoot, I can go. Since I just said that, I just remember my daughter needs diapers. So I gotta go look at this property and shoot and get diapers. Man, bro, I'm glad he gave it $100. My daughter needed diapers. So that's how you have to look at things like that or whatever. But we rocking and rolling. We on the move. I believe in tithing. I will never not tithe as long as I'm working. Unless I'm just really down on my knuckles where I can't do nothing, then I won't. And I'm not telling you instead of me paying my light bill, man, the pastor said he need extra money. No, don't do that. Pay that light bill. Because his wife and kids ain't gonna be sitting in the dark. Yours is. So you need to look at all of that. You really do need to look at that and process that. But look, Gibson Salon Service checking in. Y'all leave y'all comments down in the bottom. What do y'all really feel about tithing? And a lot of people look at, I ain't giving a pastor my money. Well, I tithe to the Lord. And this is the building I go to every week. So I don't want to sit in a hot building. I want the AC on when I'm there. I want good lighting. I want to be able to use the bathroom. I want to get a good word, and then I'm going to move on. So y'all drop down in the comments what y'all think about giving another man your money that you've worked hard for.